Good morning and welcome to Team Cycle's Bike Hire Centre in Kielder Forest on what seems to be one of the nicest days of the month. Let's get into it. Today I'm taking on the Cross-Border Trail on my new Trek Checkpoint Plus SL5, an electric gravel bike built for speed, comfort and adventure. The lightweight carbon frame houses a TQ HPR60 motor, giving you 300 watts of quiet natural power and 60 newton meters of torque, perfect for steep climbs and bikepacking loads. 360 watt hour battery is fully integrated for long days out with an optimal 160 watt hour extender for those even bigger rides. With progressive gravel geometry, it keeps you stable on the rough ground and fast and responsive on the smooth roads. With clearance for 45mm tyres and mounts, racks, bags and mudguards, it's built for anything commuting all the way up to multi-day expeditions. So yes, today I'm taking on the Cross River Trail here at Kielder Forest. I'm going to be putting the new Checkpoint Plus through its paces to see if I can do everything on this that I would do on my gravel bike, my Trek Boon. Up until this week I've never rode an electric gravel bike. I've rode an electric mountain bike and they're still quite slow and sluggish on the gravel because they're made for the jumps and bumps. But today I've got a few tests for this bike. I want to see if I can do all the fun stuff that I do on my gravel bike. The wheelies, the jumps, can I get this bike on my shoulder? Skids, cornering, we're going to test it all. We have got 98% battery. Can this bike make it around the 50k loop that I've got planned today and take on, well, pretty much everything? We're going to find out. A few years ago, I didn't have the confidence to come to Kielder unless it was for an event. Something like the Dirty Reaver, where you're following lots of other people, it's waymarked and you can't get lost. But over the years, all of these routes have got a lot more accessible and you can get hold of the GPX files via so many different apps that it's really hard to go wrong. With 3 assisted power settings on this bike, I've got it on setting 2. Now, I haven't rode this bike for a long period of time, so I don't know if it's going to make it round the full 50k. And the last thing I want to do is get stuck out here in the wilderness on a bike that, well, is pretty heavy. Now, although I say it's heavy, electric bikes over the years have got lighter and lighter, and this is one of the best in its class. This is currently showing 63 kilometers and 3 hours and 8 minutes of riding if I continue the way I'm going. I'm currently averaging 20 kilometers an hour, taking it very, very steady, and it just feels like a recovery ride. I'm just going that little bit quicker than the power that I'm actually giving it with my legs. Now, currently cycling up this 8% shingled gradient, I'd be usually quite out of breath because riding and speaking to a camera, cycling uphill, well, it's tiring. And you'd usually hear me panting and breathing and snotting everywhere. But I'm quite happy here. There's a reason I always film uphill. Filming downhill is quite sketchy because you're going quick. And that also produces an awful lot of wind noise. So cycling uphill, you're going a lot slower and you've also got less wind noise. But then you're out of breath. So you've got to pick your battles. Today I'm taking on the Cross-Border Trail. Now, these trails aren't just for bikes, they're for hikers, walkers and runners. And there's routes anything from 10k all the way up to nearly 100k. I didn't know how overgrown this would be, but this one probably isn't for cyclists. As I get further into these woods, it's getting a lot more dense. I'm going to continue on my path because I can see it clears further up the road. So just bear in mind, if you're going to take a bike, then know your ability. First test for the Checkpoint Plus, I spend a lot of time with a gravel bike on my shoulder, and we've mentioned it in lots of videos. Gravel is about adventure, and sometimes you have to hike a bike. I've just got to my first river crossing, so we'll see what the Checkpoint Plus feels like on your shoulder. So exactly as I thought, Checkpoint Plus on your shoulder, no difference from having my Boon on my shoulder, other than a little bit of extra weight. But obviously that's to be expected. So it's a big tick for adventure ready for the Checkpoint Plus. Onward with our adventure. There's always been quite a stigma with electric bikes that it's easy or it's cheating. I've just come up an 8% gradient at 151 watts, which would usually be what I would come up that, and it's gave me 150 watts back. So I'm not going any harder or any softer than I usually would. I'm just going up a bit quicker. And then you have the polar opposite. Flying down this single track at 40 kilometers an hour, I've got 0 assist because I don't need it. But I'm still having to put the watts through the pedals. This is awesome. Whoa. But even at this speed, you still feel the weight of the vessel. It's still just a little bit less nimble than a normal gravel bike. Oh. It also does skids, so it's a big tick for skids. I am starving. I say that, but you're going to laugh. Massive fan of these Huels at the moment. It sounds like a sponsored post, but it's not. They're about £6 each, but they do the job. And I know I'm getting everything I need when I'm out on a ride. Stopping for a light snack, I've made my way halfway round the cross-border trail. Like I said, it's probably not made for gravel bikes, and it probably is okay for mountain bikes. But all of these trails, as previously mentioned, are for a collective of outdoor enthusiasts, whether you be a walker, a hiker, or a runner. Look at this. Part of me always wishes that I live. Oh, cattle grid. Part of me always wishes that I lived out here, but then I also like to be able to get a Chinese quite quickly on a Friday night, and there's no Chinese here. Well, anywhere. There is lamb, but it's not cooked. Just exiting Newcastleton and the woodland area to the right of me. I've been on the road for about 15 minutes, but with no power assist whatsoever, because I'm going too fast for the assist to be active. But I've got a headwind, quite a strong one. So now I've got a strong headwind, a slightly heavier bike, and I've got no assist. So when people say it's cheating riding an electric bike, it's definitely not. So, as you can see, I've got 150 watts, 130 watts, with, a little bit assist now, 15, 45, but not much. Today has been fairly relaxed. I've been riding an electric gravel bike, and I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not even in a cycling jersey today. This is the new Fox kit. We've got it at Team Cycles, and I've turned it into an everything t-shirt. I've had it on at work and I've had it on today. And I think if more companies did relaxed gravel tops like this, I think they could take off quite quickly. I know MAP do a couple, but yeah, I really like this one. And if you want one, you can get one on the Team Cycles online stores. Match me, and we can all be matchy-matchy together in our fashionable Fox tops. I know I've done a couple of videos here at Kilda, and it might come across like, well, I work for Visit Kilda or something, but this is an hour and 15 minutes from my front door, and it's incredible. Like, you could be anywhere in the world. I would encourage anyone, just come here for 3 or 4 days, pitch a tent, get a caravan, and bring your bike. It's something else, it really is, it's magical. That's not an exaggeration at all. Set this camera up in the middle of the road. Activate YouTube voice and tone. The cross-border trail is called the cross-border trail for a reason, because it goes into the Scottish borders. It crosses into the Scottish borders. We're now about to go back into England. Today I had my lunch in Scotland. Well, a Huel. Retrieve camera. So coming back across the border into England with a stonking headwind, the Trek Checkpoint Plus. It's still fun, still playful, still light enough to carry anywhere you want, and well, it's still a workout. Nothing has been easy about riding this bike today, but when I needed it up the hills on those little gravel climbs, it's been great. There's only one real thing that I've changed on this bike, which I've missed quite a lot, and is a bit more of an aggressive tyre. This bike can hold a really wide tyre, so I'll probably put something on it a bit more chunkier. We're just pulling into the bike park now, back near the shop, and I want to see if this bike can do something else. Like I said, I love to chuck a bike about, so I want to see if this bike can air. Let's try and send it. That's the 50k cross-border trail at Kilda Forest complete on the new Checkpoint Plus. A huge thanks to Team Cycles and Trek Bikes for giving me the chance to put this bike through its test. As always, I'm going to leave this video here. Please remember to comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see everyone on the next one.